And good morning world, it's about 7:30 in the morning, it's the 20th of April 2016. The sun is now in Taurus, moon's in Libra, it's not a void moon today, world's good. Mercury is about to go retrograde, it'll be going retrograde in about 8 days time, we're firmly in the Mercury retrograde shadow. I find it interesting that when Mercury goes retrograde in about 7 or 8 days time, it'll stand still at 23 degrees of Taurus. When Mars stops going retrograde in a couple of months' time, it'll stand still at 23 degrees of Scorpio. So it does seem that those people being born around the 14th, 13th, 14th, 12th, 13th, 14th of May, 12th, 13th, 14th of November, you're the ones who are being directly impacted by these retrogrades, or at least some of the people who are being directly impacted on them. And more on you perhaps another time, but if you are one of these people, then during the actual retrograde stations, and with Mercury it's in a week from now, then you're best advised not to do the headless chicken, not to buy into the hype and spin that's going around, and to take a rain check on everything that's happening around you and not overreact. The Mercury retrograde that's coming up and that the Mercury shadow we're already in, it's taking place in the second half of Taurus, and perhaps, I can't speak for everyone obviously, but Mercury's not that comfortable in Taurus. Mercury likes words like rationality, objectivity, impersonality, detachment, logical, rational, analytical information, whereas Taurus is a sensual sign. It's the sign most commonly associated with food, with tactility. It's very tactile, it enjoys touch, hugs and cuddles. It's very emotive and sensual. So Mercury in Taurus it's very good at talking about its feelings, but sometimes it's not that good at feeling its feelings. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is going to be in a strange position where it's going to be, on the one hand, going through some rather strange experiences when it comes to actually sensing things. Whether that sense is going to be in the terms of physical taste or touch, colour, sound, sensual, physically sensual, the 5 physical senses. And yet, whilst it's retrograde, it's also going to be trying to make sense of these things, common sense, logical, rational sense of these physical senses, in a way that doesn't make sense. So have a look at the middle of Taurus in your own horoscope. Have a look at the middle stroke end of Taurus in your horoscope. See what house it's in. And do your best to understand that there's a number of new bits of information of all different types coming in the near future that aren't going to fit the normal pattern. You're not going to be able to make sense of them as yet. The Mercury retrograde carries, it starts going retrograde around about the 27th, 28th of this month. It will stop going retrograde, I think, around the 17th, 18th of May, and then the retrograde shadow will clear by the end of May, start of June. So looking at that area in your own personal horoscope, work out which house it's in and make a kind of tacit agreement with yourself. But you're not going to make any new long-term agreements, commitments or decisions regarding the affairs of that house until you're into the end of May, because if you do, you'll only have to revisit it and adjust it come the end of May, start of June. You know it makes sense. Mercury retrograde. It's normal, this one. There's no difficult aspects from Mercury to the outer planets during this coming retrograde. So it's not going to be a difficult retrograde for the world. It's going to be much more of a personal one. So it's going to be the archetypal Mercury retrograde. Emails won't get sent. Letters won't get delivered. Phone calls will get missed. Classic Mercury retrograde. Be prepared for it. Look at the house it's in your chart. Plan accordingly. More on this one in a few days' time. Have a great day. Bye.